Here we go. This is day one of our goal setting masterclass, and so I think it's really important to talk about why goal setting is so important. Okay, why is goal setting so important? So here's the thing. Goals create the future in advance, right? They create your destiny. Goals need to make you want to get out of bed and pursue them, right? So they need to give you energy and excitement, and you feel that in your soul. But most people don't actually take goal setting seriously, right? They'll do goal setting like once a year, typically like right around the new year, and then they don't look at those goals again for, 10, 11, 12 months, okay? People tend to set these goals that are even easy to obtain, things they could do even potentially in the next few weeks, because they already have the skills and they already have the knowledge, and maybe they're afraid to fail and they have all these reasons. But you want to set goals that are going to make you stretch, okay? You need to have the absolute faith and belief. The faith and belief that you don't have to have the skills and the knowledge right now. That you will grow into the person that will have that knowledge, that will have those skills. You also have to have that growth mindset that I've talked about in a lot of my other videos. So the absolute faith and belief that you are going to grow into the person that has that knowledge and skills, and then be open to the opportunities to grow that knowledge and grow that skill by having that growth mindset. So you're going to need to set goals in all areas of your life. So like personal growth and development, relationship, things, finance, travel, like any area that you have, you're going to set goals in it. You need to set goals that are big enough to drive you. I talked about having goals that make you want to get out of bed, right? So these goals that drive you. Don't worry about the how. Just focus on writing those goals down, right? So we don't have to worry about the how. Just what are those things that are driving you, okay? And then we'll focus on writing them down. So here's the thing. We don't actually know exactly how it works, but when you write down your goals, it makes you a creator. Remember how, like, I first started off this video saying that you are a creator of your own destiny. And this is how you are creating that destiny. Okay, but in order to create that destiny, you've got to be 100% clear on why you want those goals. The why you want those goals, okay, or the reason you want those goals, those reasons create the answers, right? The answers are the how do I do this? I don't know how to do this. I want to do, right? So the why is the reason. The how is the answer. The reasons are what are going to give you that inspiration, that inspired action that is going to move you toward your goals, right? That's going to help you reach your goals. But first you need to know the following. Okay, so the first thing, what we focus on consistently is what we are going to create. Okay, so what we focus on consistently is what we create. Remember, I said that we're creators. We're creating our destiny. So whatever that is that you're focusing on, that's what you're going to create. So when we're setting goals, we want to make sure that they're in alignment with what we want to create, where we want to be, what that destiny looks like. The second thing is setting goals. Let your subconscious and conscious minds know that you're not satisfied. You've got room to grow, and that you want to, that you're actually actively seeking out growth. So some of the most respected success coaches in the world recommend setting goals twice a year, reviewing them once a month, reviewing your top goals daily, and breaking them down into actionable chunks. Yes, I actually said reviewing your top goals daily. But in order to review your goals, you actually need to have some set. And so that's what this masterclass is all about. So for the next 3 days, you're going to do some live goal setting sessions with me. They're not going to be too long because we're going to break them down over 3 days. We'll be doing this in real time so that I can guide you, that I can kind of prompt you through it. So it's really important that you find an optimal place for you to do this. Okay, you'll need to be able to hear me. That'll be really important. So depending where you are and what's optimal for you, you know, if you need to be in public, you've got a lot going on in the house and you need to go to like a coffee shop or something or the library, make sure you have your earbuds so that you can hear me, or your headphones. You know, or if you are at home, try to find maybe a quiet place if that's what works for you. The other thing is I will not be playing music. Typically if I were to do this like in a room with people, there'd be some music of some sort playing. But Facebook is a little weird about playing music in the background. Like sometimes it thinks it's a copyright violation, so then it won't actually like post the recording of the video. And so obviously I want the recording of this video posted for everybody. So I'm not going to be playing music. So if you do need music, then you know, you can have it playing in the background, you know, whatever kind of music works for you. But just make sure that you can hear me with the prompts as we go. Also, another tip, put your phone on silent or airplane mode, unless, of course, that's how you are watching the live stream, because if it's on airplane, you at least need to flick on the Wi-Fi, if not everything. So, also, close down all the extra, like, tabs or windows on your computer, any extra apps that you might have. When you have a bunch of apps open, it can slow down the phone or the tablet that you're on, so shut anything down that you don't need. And don't let yourself get interrupted. I know it can be really difficult. There's tons of distractions, but try not to let yourself get interrupted. It is a timed exercise. And so I'm going to have you just like keep writing the entire time. You know, obviously if a distraction or something comes up, you know, you can always like get through the recording on that one prompt. So here's the other thing. Sometimes you might get an idea and it could seem unrealistic. But first, who am I to tell you it's unrealistic? I'm not going to. But more importantly, who are you to put that limit on yourself? Right? If you have a strong enough why, if you keep that goal in front of you, and you make it real, and you're open and actively growing into the person that is representative of that outcome, then anything is really possible. So, you know, if at first you're like, oh, well, that's not realistic, don't put the limit on you. Go back to that why. Why do I want that? Why is that so important to me? You know, am I going to be able to keep this in front of me every day? Am I ready to grow into the person that can achieve that goal? It is the barking hour at my house as well. Jet is protecting the house from other people walking their dogs. So the other thing is, I recommend using a journal to write these goals down. There's just something magic about pen and paper that just makes these things happen. So that's ideal. I even am so much like, I get like some colored pens. My journal's in the other room, but I have like, oh, actually, I have one of my journals here, right? I get like these cute little notebooks with inspirational sayings. But that's what I do, right? So find the thing that works for you. Find a way to journal that will work for you. So we're going to set goals in 3 main areas, and all those other areas I talked about earlier kind of fit into these 3. So we're going to set goals on personal development, right? So like, who do you want to be? Who do you want to become? We're going to have thing goals. So this is where I'm giving you permission to be materialistic. And we'll talk about, you know, what that encompasses and how to set goals there. And then finally we'll be setting economic goals. So what do you want and where do you want to be economically and financially? So really that's all that we have for tonight. I'm really excited to get started tomorrow, get into the meat of this, and start off with the we're going to start off with the personal development goal setting. That'll be kind of the first goal setting module. But I thought it really important to kind of set you up for tonight, give you some of that background. Why is goal setting important? Why are we doing it now? It's because, the people say to do it twice. And so June is like the last month of the second quarter. So it seems like a good time to look back on goals that you might have, reflect on them, set new goals, recalibrate goals if you've achieved some already, and to really set you up for the second half of the year. So remember, find an optimal place if you can. Have a way to journal.